I didn't know that that was a thing. No one told me. Hi, I'm Meg. Welcome to Plant Fit Meg. If you're not familiar with my story, I have lost 78 pounds on a plant-based diet, and I have healed from multiple chronic health conditions. If you'd like to see more about my story, you can check the link below. I'll have my story linked, as well as my 100-pound weight loss video with my husband, because between the two of us, we've lost over 100 pounds. So today I wanted to talk about some weird, unexpected things that happened when I lost weight. Being obese, I thought losing weight would be a certain way, and once you get there, it's not exactly what you imagined. And so I've regained my health. I'm feeling amazing. I am the smallest weight and dress size that I have ever been. And I'm feeling amazing, and I don't want this video to come off as me complaining or griping about certain odd things that have happened, but I just thought I'd share in case anyone's interested. I was inspired to do this video after watching the Krocks do a similar video. Brian and Jessica Krock talked about a few things that happened with their weight loss that were kind of weird, or I think they might have called it bad things. Anyway, I'll have their video linked below as well. There'll be a little bit of crossover and some different stuff as well here. I'm cold pretty much all the time, so I'm always having to wear an extra layer, more so than anyone else around me, if that makes sense. So if my husband is wearing a t-shirt, then I need to be wearing a sweatshirt. Prior to losing the weight, I think I had a fairly moderate temperature setting for myself, for my body, if that makes sense. I was never someone who was super hot all the time or super cold all the time. I was just fairly comfortable most of the time, I would say, unless it was an extreme heat or extreme cold weather. So yeah, now I'm cold all the time. I definitely need extra layers, and it's weird to get used to. My shoe size has changed. So some of my shoes still fit and I can still wear them and it's okay, but some of my shoes I've actually had to get rid of because they're too big. Who knew that losing weight would also result in your shoe size changing? I didn't know that that was a thing. No one told me. So here we go. If you're in the process of losing weight, that might be a thing. After I lost a large amount of weight, I got some really interesting and weird reactions from people. So from work colleagues, from strangers, from friends. So that's something to sort of prepare yourself for. Your body becomes a commentary. It becomes a subject of conversation. People want to know how you did it, and oh, you look great. In some cases, I wasn't even recognized in certain scenarios, which was very odd. So yeah, there are sometimes some weird conversations surrounding that. Most of the time people are just trying to get some information for themselves or say, wow, congratulations, and it's generally well intended, I would say. But yeah, I've definitely had some weird reactions, especially when people don't recognize me. That's super, super strange. Or another weird one is when they ask, oh, how did you do it? What's the secret? How did you lose all this weight? And they're so interested and so excited to find out. And then you tell them, oh, I switched to a plant-based diet, I'm eating a vegan diet. And they're like, oh. And they just kind of lose interest. That's a pretty common and unfortunate, but kind of common and funny one as well. I also was telling someone at one point that I had gone plant-based and that after a few months I had a lot of energy and I started running. And so immediately they took to the exercise component. Oh, you're running, so running burns a lot of calories and that's how you lost all the weight. Running had an impact for sure, but I definitely credit my nutrition and a plant-based diet for my weight loss more so than exercise. It takes a while for your brain to catch up to your body. I think this is true for a lot of people, and I'll speak for myself because I can't speak for everyone who has lost weight, obviously. But for me, it is still taking me time for my brain to catch up to where my body is. So that shows up in a variety of different ways. Sometimes I'll just catch like, oh, I feel bony, like I can feel my bones in a way that I couldn't before, which is strange to me. When I'm shopping, I'm getting better at it, but initially as I was losing the weight, I would reach for the extra large sizes without realizing, oh right, I'm not an extra large size anymore. I need to make other choices and try different things. So that's taken some time to get used to, and I'm still getting used to that. Also related to my brain catching up, I don't take up as much space as I think I do. So for example, if my husband and I are making dinner in the kitchen together and I try to move out of the way so that he can do something, I step way, way out of the way more so than I need to. And he always laughs at me that I'm doing that. And I don't even realize I'm doing it until he mentions, oh, you didn't need to step that far away. So it's just, I think it takes time for your brain to really catch up to where you're at with your weight loss. At least that's been true for me. This one's going to make me sound very lazy, but I'll share it anyway. So I have to tie the drawstrings on my sweatpants. Yeah. So when I was very overweight, I would put my sweatpants on and they had a drawstring, but I never used the drawstring because they would just stay on because I had, you know, a larger bum and hips and whatever. So I just put the pants on and they would stay. Now I can't do that. I have to, even since I've purchased smaller sizes, I still need to actually tie the drawstring, which seems so common sense and so silly that I wouldn't have in the past, but I just didn't need to in the past. Our bed seems really huge. We have a queen size bed. It's kind of a typical thing, but in the past I took up more space and it just seemed smaller, I guess. And now our bed just seems very large. There's a lot more space there for us to sleep and curl up and have our kiddo come hang out with us. And yeah, going back to the feeling my bones more and being more aware of my bones, which sounds really odd, but related to that as well is I have what I like to call bony butt syndrome. So if I sit somewhere too long without a cushion, if I sit on the floor, for example, with my kiddo, my butt will get really sore fairly quickly. And that was never an issue in the past. I never had to sit on a cushion or was bothered in the slightest by sitting on the floor. And now I am. Another thing related to the bones is I've noticed what I like to call crunchy elbows. So if I lean an elbow on the table, it sort of does a weird crunchy cracking thing. It sounds terrible. It does not painful or anything like that. It just feels uncomfortable. So I cannot lean my elbows on the table, which is perhaps a good thing anyway. I can share clothes with my husband. So that's really cool because he has always been a slim guy and we're about the same height, and now we're the same size. So we can share shirts as well as pants, which is really, really cool. It's really exciting because we can share shirts as well as pants, and so that's really cool. I don't think many couples can share clothes, and maybe certain couples wouldn't want to share clothes, but for us it's fun. I've always joked with Chris that we would meet in the middle in terms of sizing so that we could share clothing. And so I was hoping that he would gain some weight and I would lose some weight and we'd meet in the middle. But what ended up happening is I lost a bunch of weight and now we're the same size. And the last weird thing that has happened since losing weight is loose skin. So in my first year of being plant-based, when I lost 60 pounds, I did not notice loose skin really. After regaining some weight because of health issues and medication that I was on, and then subsequently losing more weight again, now I've noticed loose skin for sure. Let me know if you'd like a full video about my loose skin and what that's been like. I can definitely put that together for you if you're interested. So those are some weird things that happened to me since losing weight. If you're on your weight loss journey, these are things that may or may not happen to you, depending on how much weight you're losing and many other factors. I am so grateful and thankful every day that I've regained my health and have lost the weight and am feeling as good as I'm feeling right now. I would definitely experience all these weird things throughout the process again and again over being obese and ill. Please like if you liked this video, leave a comment below, subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!